mean, I don't really know what the problem is, really. I mean, legally, by rights, I'm a mole. A mole lives in a hole, so the coal is mine because I was in the hole where the coal was in the first place. I mean, okay, I stole the bucket. I stole the bucket from that man, and I'm sorry. I really am. But, I'm in the hole. I live in a hole. I dig a hole. I find the coal. The coal's mine. I need the coal. The coal's in my fire, keeping me warm. I mean, I've got a right. I've got a right like every other mole on the planet to stay warm, Anyway, could somebody help me get down from this sofa? It's a bit too high. It's the kind of height I'll probably die if I try and get down from it. I'm a little bit worried about the water over there on that table. That might kill me too. Hello? Anybody? Anybody? That's a bit of luck because there'll be no bantering on this week's episode of Spectrum Days. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spectrum Days, the fantastic podcast where two old men whittle on about games and occasionally films, which so far we've probably enjoyed more than the games. And I don't suppose this episode is going to change our mind very much. I think back in 1978, Space Invaders came out in the arcades. Quite when we got it, I don't know. But the chap who designed that, he actually based that on Breakout. So the sort of little bat at the bottom hitting the ball and to destroy the blocks at the top. So it's basically the same as Space Invaders. That's how it came up with Space Invaders. And of course it became a massive hit in the arcade, making millions on the first week that it was open. Out, released, whatever you want to call it, however they release arcade cabinets into the wild. So yeah, they suddenly realised we're going to have to make more coins. Over in Japan, they had to make more coins. There wasn't enough coins. People were putting so many coins into that machine that they had to make more coins. And then Nintendo thought, we'll have a go. So they released, I think it was something Scope, Silent Scope, or Submarine Scope, or some
Silent
game.
Scope's a great game, but that wasn't released just after Space
something like Scope, something like that. Scope, some sort of submarine shooting game. Anyway, but no one played it. It was a bit like Space Invaders, but no one played it. So what they did, they repurposed the cabinets, and they got Shigeru Miyamoto, look, quickly make a game that everyone's going to want to play, and it was Donkey Kong. And they made an absolute fortune out of Donkey Kong. And then these other guys over in America, not far from where you are now, they realised that they weren't making enough money because people were just getting too good at these games. So you put your 10 cents in and you could be there for an hour. So they made these boards to sell to the arcade people to put in the machines to be able to rig the machines to make them harder. So that you'd have to pump more money in to keep going. So basically, they made the arcade games really, really hard right from the beginning, and that is what effing Monty Bus. You'll need a lot of beeps there. Mole is bloody like, and that is why he's wrong. And it should not have been re-released. You shouldn't be playing the originals. You shouldn't be playing the re-released versions. I hate it. It's ruined my childhood. I liked Monty Mole. I've got one of the originals I kept that I bought as a child. I've got Monty on the Run, £7.95, Gremlin Graphics. You can hear that. You hear that, everyone? That is the actual original. And we thought, we'll do Monty because it's coming out. They're re-releasing the whole lot on the flipping Switch. So I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So I put on the first one, and it's awful. It's so flipping hard. I couldn't get off the first screen. I didn't realise you had to go and get the bucket. So I was 3 levels in without the flipping bucket, thinking, there's no coal. I'm sure I remember coal in this game from when I was a little kid. No coal. Oh, yeah, got it wrong. You cannot fall more than a millimetre or the Monty Mole dies. I hate it. Anyway, there you are.
Hello, Phil. How's it going? What game are we gonna talk about this week?
Sodding Monty arse wiping mole.
Well, yeah. So I can't really remember playing this when I was 10 years old.
Lucky you.
Yeah, and I wonder. I mean, I don't know. Did I mean, it was Jet Set Willy, or was it like the console wars? Was it you played Jet Set Willy or you played this?
I expect you
both
blanked it from your mind like that terrible scouting weekend with your uncle.
I don't know. I mean, maybe maybe I played it somewhere and just decided it just wasn't for me. I'd had enough of that type of game. I mean, if once you played Manic Mine and Jet Set Willy, looking at it now, it does look good. It does look good. The colors, there's not much color clash. For a ZX Spectrum game, I thought it looked quite colorful. The animation's pretty good. There's a variety of different enemies, good animation. I didn't see them playing. I watched someone else's video of it because it is so hard. I couldn't get off like the second screen. It is incredibly hard. But then there's some sharks. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But you're absolutely right. One of my bugbears, of course, is that there's no tutorial. I did have to find the instructions. No, nothing. There's not even, like today's game, there would be a big arrow going, go and get the bucket first, right? You'd be mollycoddled in to go and get the bucket first. This game is so cruel. It lets you
to the left. No one ever goes left in a game.
Yeah.
No one starts and goes left.
Exactly. You start off on a screen to the left. There's like a bridge, which is broken.
Of course. And a squirrel throwing giant nuts at you.
Yeah.
What, you think I'm happy about this? I'm not throwing them at you. I'm dropping them. Look at the size of them. People wish for a good harvest. They want them bigger. Every bloke wants his nuts bigger. But look at these things. I can't control them. I keep dropping them. I'm trying to put them away, put them in a hole, move them to a different branch, get them in. Just get them in, Make the most of it. Winter's coming. I ain't throwing them at you. I wouldn't waste them on you, you pillock.
And if you step in the water, you die immediately.
Yeah.
And it's not like deep or anything. It's just a small stream. There's just a broken bridge going over a small stream, and like you say, a squirrel dropping huge nuts on your head. So the most natural thing would be you just start going to the right, where all video games go, right. So you can go into the cavern or into the cave or into the mine, I suppose.
It's a mine.
A mine, yeah. Sorry, thanks. It's a bit like those games. So that one called Gyroscope, where you control a marble, but it's really a gyroscope. They just look the same. A cave, a mine. So then you can you can waste like all your time playing the game thinking, what am I meant to be collecting? Because if you don't have the bucket, the coal that you're meant to collect doesn't even appear on the screen.
It's not even on the screen, no.
Yeah. So you're like, well, what am I meant to be doing? What am I meant to be collecting? Luckily, in my case, I didn't waste that much time because I died immediately.
Yeah.
You get 3 lives. If you touch any of the enemy sprites, you're dead. If you fall, you're dead. If you try and walk underneath the crushers things, these pipes that crush
the
down.
timing of those, even on that first screen, the timing of it is so... Oh, God.
Well, they are random. Apparently...
Oh, is that what you think?
Apparently the developer said, the programmer said, if he could change one thing, it would have been to not make those crushers be random.
Is that what it is? They were driving me insane. I stood there for ages thinking, what is the pattern? Is it 2? Goes twice, and then 1, and then 1, and then twice and 1, twice and 1, twice and 1. Anyone who is watching it, if you're one of the people who listens to us on a podcast and don't watch our YouTube channel, you're missing out on the hilarity of watching me play this game. You'll see the first half of the footage is me going through the caves or whatever they are, without the bucket. Yeah, mines. Sorry, going down mines without the bucket. And then when I finally realised you got to have the bucket, then I'm stood by those crushers going, what is it? 2, 1, 2 and 1, 1 and 2, 2, 2. Do I go now? And then the other one where it's got a sliding floor.
Yeah,
with a crusher. There's a sliding floor and a crusher and a rope And I think,
Yeah.
and do those things do anything? You pick up things. You pick up a hammer and do those objects do anything? I can't even remember. I don't remember there being. I just remember getting the coal when I was a kid. I don't remember the objects.
In the walkthrough, I did watch something where someone much more dedicated than us actually played the game properly. And there were some kind of things. I think there's a ballot paper later where if you get it, then you can defeat Arthur Scargill at the end. Otherwise, you don't. You just finish, I suppose, by collecting enough coal. But
why does a mole need coal? Other than it being alliterative, why does he need the coal?
Because it's cold. Okay? It's really not that hard to work out, is it? I'm a mole, I'm an owl, I'm cold, and I need the coal. It's really, really not that hard a thing to put together, is it? 1 and 2 makes 3, you know? I'm cold. I'm a cold mole. So I've got coal.
And he's stealing the coal.
No, I did not steal the coal. Okay, I made the coal, a hole in the coal. So the coal's mine.
Because the rest of the games, there is quite a sort of narrative across the sort of, is it trilogy or quadrilogy of games? Because he then has to run away, doesn't he? He gets, because he's stealing the coal for a start.
Well, he's also a scab, I suppose. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, because he's breaking the picket line.
Look, everybody, I'm wearing the hat for fun, okay? No, it's not work wear. I wear this at home because I live in a place that's dark, okay? What? Calm down. Look, the coal. No, look, the coal's for personal use only, okay? Okay?
Yeah.
If he's defeating Arthur Scargill, yeah.
Because, I mean, moles are famous for breaking picket lines, aren't they? They don't like people with signs. Very anti-sign moles.
Yeah.
Because the one I've got is Monty on the Run, which I think, is that the third one? Have you got the list there of the, I suppose if people don't know what these games are, they are platform games. They're basically platform games, which, as Chris mentioned, is sort of Jet Set Willy-esque sort of thing. But yes, I do agree. Even that first one, which is the one that, as I say, the footage that is playing now, is actually quite good. All joking aside, it is very well made, and the control of the character is actually, I would say, superior to the sort of Manic Miner, Jet Set Willy type. I feel you are in control of Monty. It's a nicely animated sprite. I mean, I must admit, yeah, it does all look nice. It all works. It all works well. There's been a lot of attention in making the game work well. But it is, in my little rant at the beginning, it is unfortunate that they have made it so arcade so that it is immediately hard.
Yeah.
It was right from the go. It's going to have that 10p off you. You are going to have to keep putting 10p up. If this was an arcade game, you'd be spending £1 before you got anywhere on it.
Yeah, it's just this. I mean, and we've talked about this before, but there just seems to be no need. It just must have been. It was just the way of doing things back then, and no one thought. I mean, I know for memory issues or whatever, you maybe there was a limit to the number of levels you could do, but would it have hurt to make just a simple first level to give you a chance to get just used to the controls, the keys? Yeah,
like it wouldn't have shortened the lifespan of the game, would it? If they made those first 2 levels relatively easy and also introduce you to the Crusher or introduce you to the fact that if you fall, you die. Or there's no, as far as I could tell, there was no thought in showing you any of the things that you need to do or should not do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks like they made. So the game we've been looking at is Wanted Monty Mole, right? And then there's Monty is Innocent, which was released in 1985. So Monty Wanted Monty Mole was in 1984. Monty's Innocent is 1985, and then Monty on the Run also 1985.
Right, that's the one that I've got.
And I think I played that. And they obviously, perhaps, maybe thought that the first one was a bit hard, so they gave you 5 lives instead of 3.
I remember liking these games. I'm not kidding. If people watching the YouTube, they will see I will do some footage of the game I've got in my hand. I've got the original Monty on the Run with Crash Smash emblazoned on the front. So yeah, these were good and popular and well-regarded games. This was $7.95, so this was basically a full price game back in, what did you say, 1985?
1985, yeah.
I mean, blimey. I don't remember buying it. I suppose I must have done. I doubt I'd have been bought this anyway. And I remember liking them. I remember thinking they were really good. I remember playing the first one at my neighbours. But I say, obviously, this one by the third one, I'd obviously got my own Spectrum by then, and I remember really liking it. But playing that first one, whoa!
Yeah, I mean, we've also touched on this. Were we that much more patient? It was just that we didn't, or is it that we are just so not patient anymore? We're just so used to. I mean, maybe we're just used to better experiences, and that's just the truth. It's nostalgia. We like looking at these things for nostalgia, but
actually, they're rubbish.
Objectively, a game made today has got a lot more care. It's got so much history and learnings over these last, 40 odd years that they are better, right? So we didn't have any, and again, comparison is the enemy of all joy. Those days we were comparing this probably with Jet Set Willy and Monty and Manic Miner, and it's probably this is actually more advanced than those games, and is
which
easier, right?
I certainly felt that. Yeah, I felt this was a step up from sort of the Manic Miner type.
Yeah.
Certainly, presentation and say the general, the general feel of it.
Except for the music.
But yeah, I really, this one has surprised me. We've been doing the podcast for now a year and a bit, and we've done quite a lot of Spectrum games, as well as the other odd other things in the Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, whatever. But predominantly we've done Spectrum games. But this series is the one that I think has surprised me the most.
Right.
Where immediately putting it on, I'm like, oh my God, this is impossible. This is so, why? Questioning myself, why did I like this?
And it cost you the equivalent of today. That would have been 33 pounds.
Yeah.
That's £8 back in the day.
£8 in 1985 was a huge amount.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I see it there sat on my shelf amongst the few Spectrum games I kept. Again, anyone who's been following us will know that I stupidly sold my collection of Spectrum games just before you said, "Hey, should we do a podcast about Spectrum games?" I only kept probably 5 or 6 of the sort of, which again indicates how much I liked this. The fact that I love the character, I love the artwork on this. It's just so nice. I thought, I don't want to sell that. I want to keep that on my shelf. And it's one of these really unusual ones. If you're not watching the YouTube, it's one of these unusual sort of ones. It's sort of a black cassette case, so it's not the sort of normal single cassette case. It's the sort of slightly larger than a normal single cassette case that you might have music in.
Yeah, it wraps around, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just really, really, I love it, and I love seeing it on my shelf prior to playing it for this sodding podcast. I now hate this.
Never go back. That's what they always say, right?
No,
never go back.
Totally.
Yeah.
Those twins in Ibiza, great memory. Never go back.
But it was but I like I said, I can't really remember it, and I know in 1984 I was playing a lot of Match Day, but I recognised Gremlin because then it became Gremlin Interactive, and the game from Gremlin Interactive that I do remember on the Amiga is Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge.
Oh yeah, well remembered.
So it's kind of triggers some nostalgic memories of Gremlin Graphics, Gremlin Interactive, but this particular game, I just don't. Maybe I just never had it. I just never knew anyone who played this one. Because they also made, I was surprised to see Gauntlet. So they must have had the license for Gauntlet, Gremlin Interactive.
Did they?
Yeah, well, that's what I've read, on
I've got them here.
Wikipedia. Oh, you got a Gauntlet there, have you?
I've got Gauntlet here.
The Gauntlet was great. So they must have got the if that's true, then they got the license. I thought why is Hudson
Gauntlet
come?
2. This is on Kicks. Gauntlet Deeper Dungeons, US Gold, Atari.
Yeah, that's right. That sounds right to me too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't got the first one here though. Maybe it was the first one. But the Gauntlet 2, I don't know, maybe Kicks was later on, maybe that's a budget release. Don't know.
On Wikipedia, it says that Gauntlet 1985.
Oh no, I have got the first Gauntlet. Yeah, a solid gold Gauntlet, US Gold.
US Gold. Well, then why is it Gauntlet? Why? Maybe that's a mistake on the Wikipedia. I don't know. I'm sure someone will point out what happened there.
The thing is, they released lots of different versions under different companies, didn't they? So it could have been the original was by them, or I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe they just did a version for one platform.
Yeah, I mean, they might be budget re-releases that I've got there. They might not be the originals. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd like to play Gauntlet again. That was good in the arcade, right?
We ought to do Gauntlet. We have mentioned that we ought to do Gauntlet, and I'd like to do Gauntlet.
I also, on their Wikipedia page, it does say that they did Space Crusade and Hero Quest too.
Ah, now Hero Quest. Yes, I did have Hero Quest. Well, I had the board game and I had the Spectrum game. Yeah.
Yeah. So Gremlin. Great name. Great name for a company.
It is a good name. Yeah, a good little character, the little graphic.
Yeah, and Monty. Yeah, I mean, pretty crazy game. Same sort of vein as Jet Set Willy, Manic Miner, and I mean, there's cans of hairspray down the mines that kill you. I guess that's something to do with Arthur Scargill's hair.
His unkempt quiff. You, sir, have crossed the line, and I am not a man who likes lines being crossed. Do not make jokes about my hair. If you make one more joke about my hair, I will make sure that no one goes to work and that there's no electricity, and children up and down the country will be crying because their ZX Spectrums don't work. Don't work.
Yeah, but it was like in Jet Set Willy or Manic Miner. I mean, there was killer telephones, right, in Manic Miner. So it's kind of like
weird stuff.
Yeah, all these weird and toilets and things.
Yeah.
So there is quite a few weird things. There's a huge sprite when you do get the bucket and the guy comes out. So the first time I went to get the bucket, I was too close to the door of the house. These are all spoilers, everyone. Spoiler.
40-year-old spoilers.
Yeah, if you are about to buy it on the Switch and this is your first game ever, there's a lot of youngsters listen to us. I didn't know what happened. I thought it was like a red herring that if you collected the bucket, you died the first time I did it. Because I jumped across, got the bucket, and I must have been too close to the door. The big sprite of the bloke comes out, killed me, but I didn't see the sprite come out of the door.
Oh, just like
too quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would they have why would they have that thing over there that kills you immediately? So then I went back down the mine.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, maybe I should try that thing again. No, I didn't. I read the instructions.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a novelty.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
I read the instructions. And then I went and get the bucket. And then but that was quite a good technical achievement. The very large sprite of the miner who comes out of the house when you do get the bucket.
Well, he follows you into the mine, doesn't he?
Mm.
And gets stuck. His big stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it all looks impressive. It works as a game. It's a very good game. We're not. I think I'm sure people who listen to us are disagreeing with us virulently and shouting at their telephones. But some people find games difficult, and we've both found this too difficult, and it's just off-putting. I think I've said this in other reviews of games. When it's so difficult, I find it quite hard because I've got to at least record some footage and attempts to get somewhere on it to give it a fair crack of the whip. to be able to put it into the YouTube video. And I really did not want to carry on playing this. I just found it so frustrating.
Yeah.
And we had a little conversation prior to this on our phones, texting backwards and forwards. And the first thing we both said exactly the same thing. We've never sworn so much when playing a game. It's an incredibly sweary game. It reminded me, the level of swearing reminded me of playing Mario Kart Wii, and you get on there and it's you and 12 Japanese kids who are obviously so good at it that you just don't stand a chance, because that's all they do is play Mario Kart Wii, and you're terrible.
Maybe we should publish a swear level,
swear
right?
chart.
A chart, and this is up there with Manic Miner.
Wow, this is number one sweariest. I've
more
never
sweary than
so
Manic
much.
Miner.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I instantly was swearing the moment I started playing it. I think I just fell off, just like what did look like something that a mole should be able to fall off.
Yeah, and for you, Shinobi isn't too sweary, but for me, there's too many leaps of faith in Shinobi, which also makes that one quite sweary.
Yeah, well, this is why I'm so sure some people are shouting at us, saying, "No, it's a brilliant game. It's a brilliant game." Well, that's because you're probably good at it. You know what I mean? But we just not. This just too hard. I just found it too hard. It's my only complaint about the game. It genuinely is. I like it.
You mean people have personal opinions, and ours isn't the only one?
No, I think the way it works is that people are supposed to think that what we're saying is the only opinion. That's why they get so angry. I think that's how it works. I'm fairly sure if you go down in the comments now, you'll see how it works.
Oh, okay.
Because everything we say, of course, has been correct throughout the entirety of this podcast. All dates and facts have been triple checked. And
So this is now the Monty Mole collection is now out on. It's out now, right, on the Switch.
And I actually said to you, didn't I, when we said, when we're going to, we'll do Monty Mole. I better buy that.
And then you've loaded up your Spectrum tape instead and decided not to.
No, I am now not going to buy the Monty Mole collection. It's just, I don't want to play something that makes me that angry. I can go out for a drive in the car if I want to be angry. Do you know what I mean? And at least at some point during that journey, there will be 100 yards where I can put my foot down and be doing X amount of miles an hour and enjoy myself for a few seconds.
Well, be warned. It does involve mild fantasy violence and use of alcohol.
What, driving?
No, the Monty Mole collection on the Switch. It is a shame because I would like to support. Hats off to it's a company, Pixel Games. So it looks like a UK based company who seem to be dedicated to releasing retro games, and they've got a load of games on Steam.
Ooh, what they got?
Well, they've got, which drew my attention. They've got Kickstart Off-Road Simulator. I can remember playing that, and I don't know if I could remember playing that on the Commodore or the Spectrum. They've got now this I remember. I don't understand why my memories often seem to work with smell, but I see the Way of the Tiger, and I can almost smell the box. I can smell the cassette box. There's a certain feeling I get when I see some of these
bloke with a tiger behind him.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Oh my god, I remember that one now.
Yeah, can you remember the smell of the box?
Was it one of those black cardboard ones with the lift?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now, you see, that's really funny. You mentioned this earlier on, and I didn't register at all. But now, I am now remembering it. Because you've said smell.
Because I mentioned the smell of the box.
Okay, that's a bit weird. I'm not sure I like doing this podcast anymore. That's weird.
So they've got that on Steam. And then they got another one called Avenger, which is a very similar cover, which I don't recognize. So maybe I'd already moved on to the Amiga when that came out, but that looks like a sequel. They've also got, well, they're on Steam, Mole Christmas. They've got Actua Golf. So I think Actua Golf, I think Gremlin did a whole thing of Actua games.
Oh, yeah, that does
So
ring a bell.
So they must have a license with those. What else draws my attention? Oh, they do. Wanted Monty Mole. Yeah, so maybe it is on Steam. It is on Steam. Wanted Monty Mole.
Well, that's just one of the games, isn't it?
Yeah. You can get that on Steam.
How much is it for just Wanted Monty Mole?
$2.99. If you want the whole Monty Mole bundle, so it is on Steam.
Oh, it is.
At $12.70.
It's $6.99 on Switch.
And
That's
they've also
why twice the price?
So it's Wanted Monty Mole, Monty on the Run. It's also got Sam Stoat.
That was a sort of follow-up game, yeah.
Safe Breaker. There's 5 games for $12.99.
Isn't it? It's got the Christmas one or something, isn't it?
Yeah, for $96.50, you can have the whole Gremlin Graphics collection.
$90?
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff going on there. You got
Yeah,
Actua Golf.
Yeah, but you have to play the Monty games.
Aye, yeah. So there you go. Look at that.
I think people are keen to get down into the comment section now. They've heard us rip into this classic crash smash authenticated series of games, and
yeah, now I just want to play that ninja one.
Wow,
I bet that's good. Where the tiger?
I thought this was going to be good.
Please don't hide your enthusiasm.
Oh dear, Monty Mole.
Monty Mole.
Well, there you are, folks.
Could have been worse. Could have played. Could have been
What?
worse. We could have been playing Percy the Potty Pigeon.
Oh gosh. Well, I think I would have rather have done. At least I wouldn't have ruined my childhood, because I don't remember that game, so therefore nothing to ruin. Whereas now, Monty on the Run, which was a beautifully aesthetic packaged item, sat on my shelf of other Spectrum games that I liked. Now I have to look at it in abject terror and horror at it being there on my shelf.
Well, it was our original tagline for this podcast, ruining childhood memories game by game. So
Yeah. Well, generally we haven't though. Yeah, I mean, usually we've been it's been all right, or we've had a differing opinion. You know, one of us has liked it, the other one hasn't, or whatever. But this one, we both it's just too hard. That's the
only thing.
End, full stop thing that you could say. It's just too hard. I just could not be bothered to play it anymore. It's simple as that. And if you do like really, really hard sort of platformy games, trial and error platform games, this is the series for you, because you'll love it.
Yeah, go and buy it.
Yeah. Plays well. You can't blame the game. If you get it wrong, it's because you're crap at it like we are, basically. So,
right.
Yeah. There you are, folks.
Well, see you next time.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Do like and subscribe if you want to hear us trash more games. I promise we don't normally. We normally like games. It's just Chris normally doesn't like them. I usually quite like them. So, yeah.
Full respect to the people who made this game originally, and to the people who've just done a remake. Hats off. I mean, it's good. It's just maybe back in 1984 we were all just high
on Ribena. I think that
we had more time. That was it. We were 10 years old. You had enough time to be frustrated. Nowadays, you get frustrated. You just get you just get your phone and start looking at some other YouTube video or Instagram or whatever. There
That
you go.
won't
My phone's
load.
pinging in the background
I
now.
can hear. I'm so
Yeah.
keen to know what's happening on your phone. I've
I
forgotten
don't
what
know.
game we're reviewing.
Yeah, it's like nowadays nothing can hold our attention, but back in those days we'd be willing to go through do hard things.
Yeah.
Do hard things. Oh, I don't know what the phrase is, but it's
That's
something
the
like,
name
do
of
hard
our
things.
new podcast.
Yeah, do hard things and
Do
life
hard
is better.
things. If you'd like us to do a new podcast called Do Hard Things, which is not a euphemism, then put the buzzword hard in the comments below, and we'll know that that's what you want us to do. So thanks for listening to us going on about Monty Mole. Do go out and buy it. It's a great game. We both love it, really. We were just joking. And thanks for listening.
Is that your OnlyFans channel? Do hard things.
Oh my God, he's found out. Please don't look at it. You'll see my beauty spot. It's not on my face. Or should have said mole.
It's a mole.
Oh, what a cracking joke to end the podcast with. See you next week, folks.